Peace! Oh, welcome back to the second episode of our show. We're in a different setting today, obviously. We're in my car.
I'm gonna white my teeth there. You can tell I brushed them.
The topic of the day today, that I actually brought up in my video yesterday that I posted on my channel, is who is the mayor of Tent City? I'm really curious. I really want to know. Because it boggled my mind the one time. Him and I were on a trail walk once, and this clearly homeless girl came up to us.
How do you know she's clearly homeless?
Well, the first indication is that she had a wagon with her full of junk, and the second pretty obvious indication was asking us where Tent City was.
Don't forget about the sunburns and the malnourishment.
That too.
And the do-rag. The do-rag. Oh man.
I have an idea where Tent City was on that trail because there was a garbage can outside of this path, and this garbage can was just overflowing with trash.
She had more holes in her shoes than Swiss cheese.
That's a lot of holes.
Yeah, I don't think she was wearing socks either.
Oh, disgusting.
I mean, when you're in her position, I think the last thing you're thinking about is your feet.
Whack.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, that's something I'd really like to know, and I'd like to hear some comments about what your ideas would be on how, if somebody were to be elected the mayor of Tent City, the leader, the overseer, or whatever you want to call it.
The prime minister. It's crazy because, like, in a city, you need some sort of authority. So for it to be an actual city, this place does exist. So there has to be someone in charge. There has to be. Or else it's not much of a city.
Who's the police?
Yeah, who's the police? Yeah.
Who's the ones that you know, enforce the law?
Yeah.
Nobody.
No one. Just make their own rules.
What if they all start scrapping and fighting? Oh, the cracked out girls. Stop it!
Yeah.
Stop hitting him!
You literally have, like, the townspeople, like, trying to stop the police force from overdosing, while the ambulance is cooking up some spices, and then the hospital, well, that's where everyone starts to do their drugs. That's where it all starts.
But that is something I'd want to know.
They don't have hotels, just lots and lots of tents.
Apartments.
Yeah, I wonder if they have like a rating system. It's like, this is a 5-star tent. There's just a place where you can, like, put your crack pipe.
The
Get a foot massage, but it's just two guys sucking your toes.
Whack.
Yeah.
No, the 5-star tents would be that one that comes with the curtains that you can hang down, and it's multiple rooms.
Yeah, curtains that someone stole from someone.
Yeah, they're out of the donation bin over there.
Oh,
that would have been good for a video too. When Buddy's legs were just hanging out of the donation bin up there, and he was just rooting for clothes. He was alive. It wasn't the guy who actually died over by the YMCA. Yeah, this was up by Zara's at the mall.
This guy could have fell in and been trapped in a donation bin. Then they open it, like, who would donate a homeless man?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do with him? Nothing.
As soon as they open the door, you got an extra smoke.
Yeah.
That's all his concern is.
They're reaching in for a shirt. They just grab him by the hair. It's like, oh, this isn't a shirt. This is a homeless man.
What is this? A weave?
Yeah.
Bob and weave.
I think his crack pipe was blacker than my pupils.
Holy.
He had no butane left in his lighter.
Nothing.
The only thing he had that was worth anything, I don't even know. His shoelaces, maybe? If he even had any.
I don't think he did.
He doesn't have a pillowcase.
A pillowcase?
Yeah.
Holy.
Outside is his house. Doesn't pay any rent. He lives outside, so outdoors is his house, and he pays no rent, yet he has the biggest house in the world. Right? Man, that's gotta suck.
No running water, no heat, no
Yeah.
mattress to sleep on, and if you do have a mattress, multiple people have already slept on it.
Yeah, even if you bought a brand new mattress and laid it down in a field, because I'm pretty sure you'd be sleeping in fields. So the next day the mattress is dirty. So either you have to buy a new mattress every day, or you just don't care about your hygiene. And they only take showers when it rains out.
Or just jump in the Grand River.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've never seen one do that. But the fountain down Galt, I wouldn't be surprised if they bathed in that.
That'd be crazy. You just see a big pile of bubbles and stuff, and out pops out a homeless person.
They're still dirty even when they get out.
Yeah. You know what? It's one thing seeing a homeless man, but when I see a homeless girl, I just think it's even worse. I think humans in general are supposed to be above living in those conditions, but when I see a girl, it's like you're better than this, you know? I don't know. That's how I look at women and female. Like I would assume a girl would smell better than a guy, just because girls tend to be cleaner. It's just how it goes, right? But so when I see a girl who's homeless, it's like, oh wow, that is a rough patch. That's a rough go.
A rough go.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're homeless and you're a girl, I mean, I'm not a sexist person, but even if you had to like do sexual deeds to get by, that's another way of living, and you could sustain yourself on that. A guy could too, but come on, girl is more likely to do that. But if you can't even do that, then you're basically doomed. Unless you wake up and you're just like, you know what? I'm tired of using this rock as a pillow, and this seaweed as a blanket.
Oh.
Imagine.
Bugs are your roommate.
Yeah. Your ears are just earwig hotels. You wake up, you're full of bugs. Man, that would suck.
What a life.
A lot of these people, though, I'm pretty sure they've had a pretty rough go at life, but at the end of the day, they make the decision to do that.
And we're not trying to make fun of homeless people.
Even though it's funny. It's sad, but it's funny.
But, you know, I understand if you're down on your luck and you couldn't pay your rent, you got kicked out, whatever. But if, like, you're doing it and you have no issue with it, and like you're just homeless because you just want to smoke drugs all the time and do nothing, then well, you kind of brought it on yourself.
Yeah, you just keep digging a hole. Man, that sucks. I'm so happy I'm not in that position.
I've been around somebody who told one of those homeless people standing on the median that hold the signs. I've been around somebody who told them to go get a job. Next thing you know, the person, like the homeless person's cussing back and telling them to go F themselves and all that kind of stuff. It's like they clearly don't want to get a job.
Yeah. I was telling you the one day, like if I were to become homeless and I had nowhere to go, I would stay at a shelter, and for about 2 months, I'd have a job, but I'd sleep at the shelter. I would stay there for about 2 or 3 months, I'd say, save up enough money for an apartment for first and last, which probably, let's say about $2,500. But if you make around $500 a week and you're not paying rent and you're just buying food and basic things to survive, you should be able to save that amount of money within 3 months, and then you can get yourself out of that situation and live a better life.
No.
Right? That is one way out of it. But a lot of those people are doing drugs, so it's like a never-ending cycle, you know.
No. They get clean and they're back on it. They get clean and they're back on it.
Yeah. I've seen them talk to themselves, and it blows my mind that I'm a human and they're a human too, and like that's their lifestyle compared to mine. I'm not saying mine's the best, but it's like that is a very big difference from my life, and I couldn't imagine myself doing any of the things that they do other than breathing.
What about the guy down at the shelter there that you were told about who would walk circles and apparently stop and talk to himself in the reflection of the door?
Yeah, I have just full-blown conversations with myself.
With yourself?
Yeah. Or the man in the mirror.
Ooh, the man in the mirror.
Yeah. Isn't that Michael Jackson?
I don't know.
I think it is.
Never really got into Michael Jackson.
Yeah, homeless people, it's I'm seeing more and more of them all the time. And thank God it's winter, because you see a little bit less of them, but I've had pretty bad experiences with them. I've walked by them, they just yell in my ear, and I just get this urge to attack, right? But I have a lot of personal power, and I'm not gonna go and like attack them. They're already in a pretty bad position. But if someone yells in your ear, man, oh, it sucks. Anybody yells in your face, even, you know, you get angry, right?
Yeah.
But man, what a rough life.
Yep. Then you just go out and steal.
Yeah.
The ones that break into cars and all that kind of stuff, you know, the people who actually work hard, then they just go around, break into cars and all that and steal stuff.
Yeah.
Like, those are the ones I don't like.
Man, that's crazy.
They just gotta go around and ruin everybody else.
And to think at one point in their lives they were 5 years old in like grade 1, running around drawing pictures of butterflies and going to gym, but 15 years in the future they're living on the street doing drugs, like it blows my mind that, like I said, at one point they were a little kid. A mindless little kid that had like lots of opportunities, but they just kept going down the wrong path. Because I think more times often than not, no one was there to guide them. There was no one there to like, I'm proud of you, or because humans need that. Humans need that sense of fulfillment from other people. It's a good feeling. But I think some of them had none of that.
Nope.
There's probably someone who had parents that worked jobs, but they just didn't want to listen. They just wanted to keep on doing drugs, and one thing led to another. Now they're in a really bad situation.
Yeah.
Now they're living at Tent City.
Tent City.
A mayorless town.
Well, that's the question today. Who is the mayor of Tent City? We don't know for sure.
He said that it's probably the person with the most drugs.
Yeah, that's what I said yesterday.
Wouldn't that make sense? Because drugs is their currency. That's the only thing of value to them is drugs and like a tent.
Yeah.
At least they know that they need shelter.
Imagine you and I that one day were to actually like walk down that path
No, we get stabbed.
and go into Tent City to see. We would have been looted.
Imagine we went there and never came back and just started living there with the people. We live amongst the fiends.
Just don't have to work anymore.
Yeah. Oh.
No, you know what? I hate getting up in the morning to go to work, but it's so much better than, It's like that guy. I didn't even do anything. He's driving my truck across Park Hill Bridge. This homeless guy, he comes walking, and I'm approaching him slowly. I'm not gonna hit him, and there's a red light, anyways. And he just walks in front of me, and he just flips me the bird.
Yeah.
It's just, I didn't do anything. Didn't honk at him, nothing. Yeah. And it's like, and this was summertime, so it was like plus 30 degrees out. All I could think to myself is, you know what? I'm glad I get to go home and I get to sleep in a comfortable bed in a nice air-conditioned room. Not underneath Park Hill Bridge, sleeping on rocks, having bugs crawling all over you.
Getting eaten by mosquitoes.
Eaten by mosquitoes. That's one thing I forgot about summer. Oh, I hate those things.
I know, I'm not looking forward to that.
That and yellow jackets.
Yeah. It's so funny because like you don't know the guy, he didn't do anything wrong and he flipped you off, and like that just says so much about his character.
My biggest thing with those kind of guys is, I don't honk at them because next thing you know they kick your vehicle or something like that, and you can't do anything back. You can't go out and kick them.
You can't sue them. They have
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, they have nothing.
Now they boot your car, they get away with it. Now you gotta fix a dent or a broken mirror or something like that, which I already just replaced.
If it's during the winter and they do that and they go to jail, then that's like a free hotel for them.
Yeah, they get food, they get a warm place to sleep. Probably not the most comfortable, but
yeah,
dropping
the soap once a week is worth having shelter and food.
Holy,
that's crazy.
Paper
man.
Clothes.
Yeah, paper mache clothing. Oh man, it seems like there's more and more of them, like all the time. I remember being a kid walking around. I never really seen that many homeless people. Maybe because I wasn't out on the look for it. Because now I'm older, I don't go out of my way to look at them. But if I see one, I'm like, oh, look at that. It's a homeless person.
It seems every time, or since they opened the bridges, it just escalated.
Yeah.
It just got worse.
It's so entertaining to watch the homeless people. I don't know why. I'm very intrigued by it.
You could be minding your own business.
Yeah.
And they'll just want to start a problem, or they'll ask you for change, ask you for a smoke. I couldn't do that. Couldn't walk up to somebody, you got any spare change?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. I really don't. I have enough trouble paying my own bills. Can't be supporting somebody else's.
We should be asking them for money.
Yeah.
If anything.
Hey, you got any spare change? You got an extra smoke?
Yeah, he's just wearing a hat, ripped jeans, not even a shirt. He's sunburnt. But yeah, can I have $5?
Yeah.
He gives it to you.
The ones that get me the most are the ones that are standing on the median, and they got a newer phone than me. A newer phone than me.
Yeah.
If you guys want to know, I think this is an iPhone 8. I'm not 100% sure. this is what I have, and the home button's kind of jinkety jank, so. Yeah, and they have a brand new phone.
Stolen, probably.
Probably.
What a life to live, man. It sucks.
Next thing you know, they're gonna have a Sony 4K camcorder.
Yeah, and then driving around in a Nissan Altima. Where'd you get that car? Oh, I stole it.
Turn the plot twist, it's my car.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, out in the Altima, we're hunting for the Altima.
Yeah.
We're gonna be rolling some heads.
Yeah. I switch it up. Today we're out in the S10 looking for the Altima.
Yeah. Well, I'll be getting the S10 in May. Pick her up from storage. That was what I was driving to when that homeless guy walked by and flipped me off. I wasn't driving the car, I was driving the truck. And I really didn't want somebody to boot that. Uh-oh.
Especially with his dirty shoes.
The rain is starting.
Oh no. Yeah, man. From what I've witnessed with homeless people is that I think most people have a routine in their day-to-day life. With these guys, it almost seems like every day is just like totally random. But the main goal is to get enough money to buy drugs or do drugs if you have them.
Get your next fix.
Yeah, but they always end up in like a different place. It's like their life is like a complete adventure, which I admire adventures, but not those kind. I seen this homeless guy one time. He had this bag. He had like a duffel bag on his back, and he has clothes in it. And the duffel bag was open. I guess the zipper ripped off, which doesn't surprise me. And he dropped a piece of clothing, and then he put the bag down, and then he went to grab the piece of clothing. And he put it back in there. And then another piece of clothing fell, and then he went back and grabbed that piece of clothing. While he's bending down, more clothing fell out. He kept on bending down to grab more clothing that was falling out.
I remember that story.
Yeah, I'm just like thinking to myself, it's like, why are you carrying everything you own with you right now?
What about the one in Kitchener, the egg salad sandwich guy?
Oh, this is so crazy. So there's a coffee culture downtown Kitchener. I was pretty sure I was walking back from the library, and I seen this homeless guy, and he had I think it was an egg salad sandwich, and he was like laughing, and then out of nowhere, there's people walking all around this guy. Like there's probably like 10 people in front of him. He takes a bite of the sandwich, and like the egg is falling out of his mouth, and then he throws the sandwich in the air, and there's eggs everywhere, like landing around people, and he's just laughing about it. And I think he was just wearing socks and like a shirt and pants. He just throws the sandwich in the air. Like he doesn't care if it falls on people. It was so funny to see. That was one of the biggest laughs I've ever had in my life. I didn't expect it.
What about BBR? We're not gonna tell you what that acronym means, but what about BBR? Was he homeless?
Something.
He was something. He would. I remember when I ran into him at McDonald's, man. He smelled like a dumpster.
Oh.
I don't think he was homeless though. I just think he wasn't very hygienic. But weren't you on a jog once or something like that, and he got up in your face or like did that to you?
Yeah, I was jogging to Anytime Fitness, and I seen him from afar. I could tell by his uncombed hair, and I couldn't smell him just yet. But I was walking by and had my headphones in, and the whole while he was like in front of me, like really close in front of me, I'm like thinking, it's BBR. There he is. I didn't think that this would happen, so I walked by him, and he yelled right in my ear. I had a earbud in, but he yelled right in my ear, and I didn't expect it. And the second he yelled in my ear, I stopped, and I like clenched my fist, and I like turned around, and, like looked at him, and I was like, nah. But yeah, he just yelled in my ear for no reason. It was crazy.
He would go up to the Freshco parking lot and ask people for change, and I've never actually really seen him do it. But there was a big thing on Facebook about him, and he'd walk up to people, ask them for change, and I guess whenever somebody said, no, sorry, I don't have any change, he'd spit in their face. But I don't really see him anymore. I just see you and your messed up faces.
Yeah. Yeah, man, he's quite the character.
I'm trying to think of another one we know.
He's dirty.
He is dirty.
There needs to be more attention drawn to the homeless problem, because soon, I already know it's going to happen eventually, if it hasn't already. Some girl's going to be walking with their daughter or son, and like a homeless person's just going to attack them. or something like that. And you know, kids like to ask questions, right? And kids are like, "What's that?" And you have to explain to them.
It's an unsavory.
Mommy, why is that guy wearing one sock and half a shirt? Well,
Yeah.
you see, if you don't go to school, you don't eat your vegetables and brush your teeth, that could be you.
You know, if you get into drugs.
Speaking of that, make sure you all brush your teeth. It is so important. I'm telling you. You neglect your teeth for a long time, you will regret it. I was gonna swear there, but I stopped myself.
Pain.
Brush your teeth.
Pain.
Yeah.
I got a broken tooth right now. Thank God my work just introduced benefits.
Yeah. Your boss does have a heart.
I can't say anything.
Deuce.
I can't say anything about that. He was nice today.
Oh yeah.
He's been good lately.
That's another thing too about work. I thought about it too. It's like the person who owns the business, obviously they're making more money than you, and they don't have to do as much physical labor. They're obviously still doing a job. And I always thought of it as if you're making them a bunch of money and they're giving you a bit, but you know, without them you wouldn't have a job. So you know, they're helping you, but there's some kind of pay gap that doesn't make sense. Because with my job and what I do, I already know that I'm making them way more money than I'm getting, right? But I know there's expenses and you know, bills to be paid, but there's definitely more than enough money to go around to give everybody a little bit more, right? So I guess the goal is to be my own boss kind of thing, or be our own boss. That'd be really nice. I hate working for people, man. I hate it.
It's like, I think I was saying it to the one guy the other day. Because he actually just came back to my work out of retirement. Very cool guy.
Tom?
No, Steve.
Right.
He's like, he told me it was nice being at home and all that, but he said it eventually got boring. And I agreed with him to a point. I could always find something to do at home, but you know, going to work is nice when you get paid, but it's also nice being at home. You know, you miss a day because bad weather and all that. It sucks that you're not going to get paid, but it's nice being at home. You know, I could go have a cigarette whenever I want. I could sit down and go on my phone whenever I want. I could just do something whenever I want. At work, go out for a smoke. Holy. Might as well dodge the bullets as you're getting shot at.
Yeah, I think if you listen to your employees more and like just give them a little bit of leeway, I think more work would get done.
Not call them whiners.
Yeah, like if you go outside for a 5-minute smoke, what are you really gonna miss?
No.
Is it gonna affect the company that much? 5 minutes, and people will be like, oh yeah, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, it adds up over time. It's like there's so many other workers. It's not just me. You think my 5 minutes is gonna matter? It's 5 minutes. Just go have a cigarette and come back. Like some people need to do that. Some people need to calm down, and I think there's some kind of build up. You're like some people. I know when I smoke a cigarette, my thought process changed and I calm down. So you could be like on the brink of about to quit that job. You're like, oh man, I hate this job. I'm gonna quit. Then you go for a smoke and you like calm down. And I think some employees need that. They need to have that like little 5 minutes to themselves to like calm down, think about what you're doing, and maybe you won't quit your job, and then you can pay your rent, and then you're in a bad situation, right? So
You end up in Tent City.
exactly. That's the moral of the story.
That was me on last Wednesday, I think. I was like this close to telling somebody to go F themselves, which I probably wouldn't have got fired. Maybe. But before I did any damage, I wasn't break. I don't care. I didn't care. I went outside and had a smoke. Thought about it. So whatever. It's done and over with now. I wish I didn't smoke. I wish I didn't have to depend on that, but I do.
Yeah.
I wish I never started, but I do.
Some people put things in their mouth and suck on them.
Yep, just like you did not 15 minutes ago.
I had a cigarette. I have to clarify I had a cigarette because I'm sure someone will be like, oh, he's gay.
Probably.
Yeah. Right in the parking lot. That's where I had my cigarette.
Holy.
Were we talking about Tent City?
Yeah, we kind of got off topic about work and all that.
Yeah, man, I got to work an hour and a half ago. My joint job is pretty cool, but man, I'll tell you what, I hate working in general. Like, I worked for 8 hours today, and it's like 6 o'clock right now. What am I gonna do? Go to the gym, go home, cook something, fall asleep, repeat it. And then the next day, work 8 hours, go home, go to the gym, cook supper, repeat it.
You get a whole 2 days off.
And then after the weekend, go back Tuesday.
It's a long weekend this weekend.
Go to work 8 hours, come home, go to the gym, repeat it.
For the rest of your life.
Then Wednesday, what am I gonna do? Oh yeah, go to work 8 hours, come home, then go to the gym, cook some meat, repeat it. I wonder what I'm gonna be doing like Thursday though. Work for 8 hours, go home, go to the gym, repeat it. Hold on.
I get
You
it.
see how crazy that sounds when you say it, but then you actually do it and you're okay with it? Why does it sound crazy? But when you do it, it's not, right? It's one of those things. That's
Because
just
you have to.
That's just life.
Or you'll end up in Tent City.
Yeah, and man, I had a hard time finding a job this time around. Let me tell you, man.
Amongst the unsavories.
I actually I put an application to join Tent City about 2 weeks ago, but thank God I found this job. I was looking for tents and everything, trying to find just the right length of crack pipe.
And it's the winter time, so it's the worst time to try to find a tent.
Yeah.
No insulation.
Make some friends.
No bugs nipping at you though. But
Yeah.
you got frostbite nipping at you.
Yeah. I wonder if they all huddle together. I guarantee you they have some crazy crack orgies.
Lots of head lice.
Yeah, yeah, bed bugs. You know they do.
Disgusting.
Like, it's so cold out here, let's all take off our tattered clothing and get warm. I bet some freaky stuff happens there, man. There's 2 guys overdosing over there. There's 2 people having a domestic dispute. One guy is like trying to drown himself in the reflection of the water. Some guy's like looking at a stolen phone that he just stole. There's another guy overdosing.
Another few of them overdosing.
Yeah.
Get the Narcan.
Yeah, Narcan on hand. That's another thing too. I would oh, how can I explain this? So I'd see like teenagers with
One.
whoa, hey. What was that? I'd see these
Oh yeah, look at that. Can you see that?
someone trying to rip you off.
It's a number that starts with a V. Let's see who's on here. Done.
No one. Done. So I'd see these teenagers with Narcan kits, and every time I ask them, like, why do you have that? Like, you never know when someone's going to be overdosing. And as soon as I heard them say that, in my head, I'm like, you know, you probably have that either for yourself or your friends who are doing drugs. So you're hanging out with the wrong people. As soon as I seen someone with an Narcan kit, every single time, not just once, every single time, they were doing drugs or they're hanging out with people who are doing drugs. And it's like, if you're doing drugs and you know you could kill yourself, why are you carrying around a Narcan kit? You know what it can cost you. It costs you your life. Why are you doing it? If you know it can kill you and you're doing it and then you almost die and then you get revived from some Narcan, you think maybe you wake up and you're like, think for 1 second, like, maybe I shouldn't do this. Like, if I drink too much and then I puke, while I'm puking, I'm thinking, like, why did I do this to myself? I'm not going to drink. And I don't drink for a while, you know? Why can't they just have, like, a realization? Just stop doing drugs. You're going to die.
As soon as they're revived, they're right back to doing it again.
Yeah, and those same people are suicidal, saying they're going to kill themselves, and they hate life, and then they continue to live that lifestyle. And I know this sounds crazy, but if you say you're going to kill yourself and you're like, you're a full-grown adult, I'm not saying go and do it, but if you're saying you're going to kill yourself, you really need to get your priorities in check. I can understand like a young teenager saying that stuff when all your hormones are raging around and you don't know what you're doing in life. If you're a full-grown person saying you're going to kill yourself, it's like, what do you expect people are going to think about you? They're going to think you're crazy. Not a lot of people are going to want to help you. You're saying you want to kill yourself. Like, how bad can it be?
And we're not saying do it.
Yeah.
So the suicide helpline will be in the description.
Yeah. But if you want to take the easy way out and do it.
No. You can't say that.
Why?
Jeez.
It is the easy way out. If you're a coward and you can't handle life, because life is hard for everybody. I don't care who you are. Life is hard. It's not easy. Dealing with stuff, thinking about stuff all the time. It's a big mental game. You gotta overcome it. Like I said, if you're a full-grown adult and you're saying these things, man, you gotta get help. But 9 times out of 10, you won't actually go ahead and do it. And though those who do, I remember reading reports, they'd find scratch marks on their like neck trying to get the rope. They like the last second they're like, oh, I don't want to do this, right? So even if you have the littlest bit of regret when you say it, you shouldn't be talking like that. Suicide's crazy, man.
Yep. Not a good thing.
No, it's a crazy topic, man. Like, you get one life. That's all you get, as far as we know.
That's why I'm so scared of heights.
Yeah,
You fall off a high spot, you ain't. There's no respawning. Respawning.
Respawning. Yeah.
It's not a video game. That's it.
Just turn into one big bloody pancake.
Yep.
That would be a crazy death, I think, falling to your death, because like as you're falling to your death, you know you're gonna die, and like you can't prepare yourself for what's gonna happen because it happens so fast. That'd be scary. But while you're falling, and you know you're gonna die. When you know you're gonna die, I bet that's scary, man. I've read a lot of stories, and they're brutal, very brutal.
Stories about what?
About people in situations where they know they're gonna die. Like, it's not
How did they write the story?
It's not from their perspective. It's from the autopsy, and like it shows that they were fighting for their lives, even though they were in a situation where they knew they were gonna die. Even though they still tried to fight for their lives. It's scary stuff. It's crazy. It's like that one death they have. It's like this. It's called the Raging Bull or something like that. They put a human inside a metal bowl, and then they light a fire underneath it, and it heats up, and they burn alive.
The brazen bull.
Yeah, the brazen bull. Like, that's a terrible death. You know you're gonna die, but you still fight for your life, man. That's crazy. Why are we talking about death?
People were whack back then.
Yeah, those are very bad.
They say our generation's stupid.
Yeah, I know.
Burning witches. I know that was a long time ago, but even people back in the 50s and 60s, we're gonna use this pure asbestos as fake snow.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I remember there's this, like, I think it's a belief. It's called Wiccan. And it's basically witches. Like, witches are allowed to roam the streets now. But if we were to go back in time and you said, oh, I'm Wiccan, I cast spells, or this and that, I'm pretty sure that's what Wiccan is. You've come a long way. And they say that our generation's really, really bad.
Yeah.
We've opened up a lot of doors so a lot more people can have a better life. Imagine this transgender stuff flying in like 1950, 1960. We're just recovering from World War II and people are all concerned about that stuff. We've helped out a lot of people, our generation. Not me and him, like, personally, but our generation is a big part of why people are accepted.
I'd get on to another topic about generations and old people and all that, and how they think they're just so superior.
Yeah.
But I think we've ran out of time for today.
I have no problem with any generation.
Neither do I.
Everybody's awesome.
I ran into this old guy yesterday at work. He was measuring up the windows so they could put like cages on there to stop people from breaking in, or maybe us getting out. You never know.
Holy.
But he was using my car as a table. He had his clipboard on my car, his tape measure and all that. So I walked outside after lunch and I'm like, huh. He's like, oh, is this your car? I'm like, yeah. He's like, don't worry, I'm not marking it. And I wasn't going to be an ass because he was just such a nice old man. So I just sat there and I had a good old conversation with him. I'm not a mean person. I can't be mean unless, you know, I am. But I don't know how to explain it.
Especially to a person who has ED. Your life is pretty much over when you have ED. Just throwing that out there.
The ED?
The ED.
Alright, that's
Erectile
it.
dysfunction.
Oh. Whack.
If it doesn't work, don't try to jerk.
Alright, that's it. That's enough of today's
What do you
topic.
do when you have ED? Do you go straight for Viagra or Cialis? Which one do they prefer?
I think I'm going to go straight for the stop recording button.
I'd probably go with Viagra first and then Cialis.
Alright, thanks. Oh, 97 views so far. It's on the first episode.
I have a Viagra
It's Wednesday,
Cialis
February
cocktail.
16th, and 97 views on our first video. Thanks.
Big
Keep it
tall
up.